I'm the one person who's like socially just not allowed. Like social media would just not take it good if I ever did.
And so Alex Eubank, he wants to take PDs. You can clearly see this in his voice and what he's stating, the fact he wants to have bigger muscles and so on. But he thinks he's the only one. Why am I the only one that can't take it, that social media would disapprove? Coach Greg, in today's video, Alex Eubank, he posts a video. The caption says, "Hopping on steroids, ? In his video, he describes whether or not he's going to take steroids, his feelings, thoughts on this, and what the people would say if he did, in fact, turn to steroids. And so my personal opinion is I think he's missed the mark. He's underestimating the way people see him. But let's get into it. I'm not going to twist his words. I'm going to show you exactly what he's saying, and we'll draw our own conclusions.
My shoulders look small. It's fat right now. I've been eating hella. They're small.
And so far, it's not looking very good for Alex. Body dysmorphia, it's a real thing. He's literally saying, my shoulders look small. My shoulders are small. I'm feeling fat. Look at me. Look at my physique. Does anyone think he has small shoulders, small arms, or looks fat in the slightest? But yet here he is opening up to the audience, telling you exactly what he thinks. He's not lying. He's not pretending to feel like he has small shoulders. He actually feels it. And so despite the fact that so many people, millions at this point, admire his physique, in his own eyes, he doesn't feel like he has an amazing physique. He feels small, feels like he should have more muscle, that he should be more developed and, in fact, leaner. But why? Well, because he's comparing himself to other people on performance-enhancing drugs. And in comparison, he feels inferior. And so imagine his millions of fans, of which 99.9% have less muscular development than him, or in fact more body fat. And so imagine what they're thinking. They're hearing Alex say, I look small. I feel fat. They're looking at him and thinking, well, what does that make me? I'm way less muscular than him, not nearly as attractive, have way more body fat. And so how should I feel about myself? And so the overall impact of this, the negative part of this, is that many people are going to turn to performance-enhancing drugs to improve their physique, to fit in, to look good on social media.
They're not small.
The bitches are small.
They are. I just had no...
You do. All you need is some steroids and you'll be fine.
And in the background here, all you need is some steroids and you'll be fine. And I'm sure it's a joke, but quite literally, if he did in fact take steroids, of course he would get bigger. Of course he would have bigger shoulders, bigger arms, lower body fat levels, assuming he doesn't eat more. And so here lies the temptation. And so Alex knows it's as simple as taking a SARM, a steroid performance-enhancing drug, and in a matter of weeks and or months, he's going to look significantly better. But does that mean he should do it? Of course not. Guy's young, early 20s, millions of followers. Why would he need to take steroids? Why would he need to improve his physique? He already looks amazing. Sure, 99% of people would trade physiques with him in a heartbeat. And so why is he not satisfied? Because you'll never be satisfied. No one will ever be happy with their physique. You're picturing your dream physique and you're thinking, oh, if I only looked that way, then I'd be happy. It's not true. It's the pursuit, the journey that is in fact the enjoyment. It's not the destination. It's clearly the journey. Ask anyone. Ask Chris Bumstead, multiple Mr. Olympia titles. He always wants to get better. Despite being the Mr. Olympia champion, he still wants to improve. He wants to come back year after year, leaner, bigger, better than ever. And so even if you have the best physique in the entire world, you're still not going to be happy. You're never going to be satisfied.
I have a video of me pinning the aminos.
I have no idea what he's referring to. Him pinning the aminos. Hopefully he's not injecting anything. And remember, it's not just steroids that people inject. It's not just steroids that are performance-enhancing drugs. There's also peptides. Just look at Mike O'Hearn promoting peptides. Platelet-rich plasma, but does it end there? IGF, GHRP6, GHRP2, Sermorelin, Hexarelin. There are so many performance-enhancing drugs out there, and the temptation to use them, it's greater than ever. And so, of course, teenagers, people in their early 20s and older, of course they're going to be tempted.
You have made it to where you've made it and you got to where you are because of you, not because of some needle that you're going to stick into your body.
And so they're trying to convince Alex, you don't need it. You're already successful without it. Why would you do this? You don't know what you're getting. Why would you ever do this? He's listening to it. He's like, yeah, but it's just not making me happy. I don't care. I want to look better. I don't like my body.
You're gonna stick it to your butt cheek.
Yeah.
Or your quad.
But the problem with that is, Alex, is you don't know what the
Cook!
it is you're sticking in your body.
No, that's not the problem. He could quite literally using pharmaceutical testosterone prescribed by a doctor. But should he? No, what he needs to do is to be proud of the physique he's achieved. Because trust me, you're never going to feel good enough. If you in fact go on HRT, steroids, peptides, whatever, put on 10 pounds. You're still not going to be happy. You're then going to compare yourself to other people who are taking HRT. You have to realize that happiness comes from within. It's not the destination, but rather the journey. And so if he's natural right now, then make the most of it. Continue on with your journey. I mean, does anyone think his journey's not going so well that he shouldn't be satisfied? Close to 1 million followers on YouTube, over 2 million on Instagram, making millions of dollars? Imagine, oh, I'm not successful enough. I'm not doing that good. I need more muscle. I'm just not happy.
I should be proud of my physique as I am now. I've been training for 6 years straight, like having good discipline to do that.
You should already be satisfied if you're doing your best. You're working harder than last time. Only you truly know whether you're trying your best. If you're working as hard as you can, you're putting the most effort that you can do, then that is good enough. That makes you a champion. Regardless if you win or lose your competition, whether you're single-digit body fat, 15%, 20%, whatever, if you're doing the best that you can, then that should be enough. I don't care what it's for, whether it's a sport, diet, training, your job, education. If you're studying as hard as you can, you're putting in the best that you can do, you should be satisfied.
I should be proud of my physique as I am now. I've been training for 6 years straight, like having good discipline to do that.
Notice he says, I should be. He's saying he should be. There lies the problem with body dysmorphia and comparing yourself to others. Imagine if he never compared himself to any other YouTuber. No other social media influencer exists. He would look at himself and say, have I tried hard? Am I training and eating appropriately? And he would say, yes, I am. And he would be truly proud of his achievements. But because he's comparing himself to others, he feels like his shoulders are small, biceps aren't big enough, and he's not lean enough. The only possible explanation for that is he's comparing himself to people who have more muscle and are leaner than him. That is the biggest mistake of all. Do not compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to yourself. If you're giving it your all, you're improving, then you've won.
But I feel like I'm the one person who's like socially just not allowed. Like social media would just not take it good if I ever did.
And so Alex Eubank, he wants to take PDs. You can clearly see this in his voice and what he's stating, the fact he wants to have bigger muscles and so on. But he thinks he's the only one. Why am I the only one that can't take it, that social media would disapprove? That if I did so, I would get hated on. Does he really think that he's the only one? What about Will Tennyson? Would the world approve of that? Jesse James West, Joe Frazier, Jeff Nippert, Greg O'Gallagher, Vitruvian Physique, Lean Beef Patty. They're natural, they've stated they're natural, and so if they chose to go to the dark side, of course there'd be some backlash. But one thing I can promise you is that if you're honest and you don't lie and you tell people I'm doing this because of this reason, I'm being doctor supervised, at least people would understand. Much better than lying, pretending you're natural, and deceiving the fans and the viewers.
My physique's stagnating and not really getting better. I'm a little bit better. If I showed a picture, honestly, from when I first started social media to now, I definitely am a little bit bigger.
Based on what I saw, I don't think he was natural his entire life. And so if he was in fact taking something in the past, it makes it much more difficult to put on muscle as you get older. And so despite the fact that he's very young, guy in his early 20s should easily be able to continue to put on muscle. If he was in fact not natty as a teenager, it would be much more difficult to put on muscle as he gets older. Now, if he is in fact lifetime natural, which is in fact possible, it could be because he continues to bulk and cut. Notice he goes into calorie surplus for a little while, but then continues to cut. And if you look at his physique, even when he's bulked up, he's still very lean, below 15% body fat. And what have I stated in hundreds of videos? That perhaps 15% body fat, very healthy, and that you should maintain at a body fat that's healthy for you. He continues to cut, continues to diet, and so perhaps he's simply not eating enough. And so what he wants is to look like a competitive bodybuilder, single-digit body fat, and look like that all the time. It's not happening. And so what happens when you're not eating, your body fat percentage drops, you get single-digit body fat, and what do you think happens to your testosterone levels? they go down. And so we've seen that from him in the past, his testosterone levels in the 200s nanograms per deciliter. It's not very high. A lot more difficult to put on muscle when your testosterones are in the tank. And so possibly he could take G-test or some form of a test booster. These are not the test boosters of old. Anders Huberman listed 2 ingredients that could increase your natural testosterone levels by 1 to 200 nanograms each. That's a total of 2 to 400 in total. Also, we have natural supplements like Ectobuilder, beta-alanine, creatine. So many natural supplements. And so if you're interested in improving your physique and staying natural, 100%, click the link in description, use code Greg. It's going to save you 10%. And so perhaps if Alex's physique is stagnating, he could try some of these supplements, or he could try to eat more and maintain. Oh, but maintaining doesn't work. You got to bulk and cut. Exhibit A. Versus he eats more, gets his body fat level up to, let's call it 14%, and lives there consistently looking, feeling amazing. He could get his testosterone levels checked. Perhaps it would be 600 nanograms per deciliter. I don't know. Something a lot higher than 225. And with normal testosterone levels and the correct amount of fuel, he could then continue to work out and put on muscle. But if he continues to bulk and cut, diet to single-digit body fat, chasing perfection of which he'll never achieve, then he's always going to suffer. Now, what you want to do is year-round cardio. You become a better butter burner. It will lower your genetic set point. That means you can carry a lower body fat percentage without being hungry all the time, without feeling like garbage. And so the number one supplement for that, GO2 Max, the main ingredient, NMN, which has been banned by the FDA, it's that effective, shown in human studies, that's right, human studies, a dramatic improvement in your cardiovascular ability. And so imagine if Alex Eubank were taking GO2 Max. He could train harder, recover faster between sets, do faster bouts of cardio, burn off more calories, lower his genetic set point. And so instead of bulking and cutting, yo-yo dieting year after year, month after month, he could maintain at a healthy body fat percentage, have plenty of energy, recover, do cardio, lift weights, feel good all the time, perhaps at 12% body fat. And so, of course, he could go to the dark side. He could take HRT. He could take performance-enhancing drugs. But why would he? So to have realistic goals, stop comparing yourself to other people, and just be happy. Enjoy the journey.
I have no passion for bodybuilding like that whatsoever. I have a passion for like building a good physique, bodybuilding my body, the temple that God's given me up.
And so he just wants to maintain a healthy looking athletic physique year round. And so does that not sound like the exact person that should maintain? Or do you all think, no, Coach Greg, you're wrong, you don't make sense. He should bulk and cut year after year. How's it working for him? And what do you think that's going to do to his mental health? When he bulks up, he's going to feel fat. Notice he feels fat right now and he's ripped. And when he cuts down, he's not going to have a lot of energy, not going to put on muscle. Notice he's stagnating.
I look up to people like Frank Zane, like some of the old school guys. That's who motivated me.
And so his passion, is just to build his physique like the old school guys, like Frank Zane, the chemist guy who's clearly not natural, who won the Mr. Olympia championship while being on PDs. I just want to look like that. But I don't want to compete. I just want to look like that year round. It's even harder to maintain that type of physique year round. Bodybuilders, you know why they yo-yo diet? You know why they bulk and cut? Because they can't realistically maintain 5% body fat. It's impossible. You feel like garbage. And so they're not putting all that muscle from bulking and cutting. They simply have to bulk up to a healthy body fat percentage because it doesn't make sense to try and maintain that single-digit body fat.
I just want to become my best version of that. So yeah, that's why I'm probably not ever going to compete, even though social media always wants to see get on stage, whatever.
Problem is he's comparing himself to other people. He clearly remembers Frank Zane. I'm sure he's comparing himself to other people, perhaps even Chris Bumstead. And so he's putting on self-imposed pressure to look his best, to look like other YouTube stars. And this results in him feeling small, feeling fat, and having body dysmorphia. And so hopefully he can get over this and realize he doesn't need performance-enhancing drugs. He's stating right now that he's not going to do it, but many people have stated this. When I was his age, that's right, about 50,000 years ago, I was actually a young guy in my early 20s, and I said, you know what? I will never do steroids. Never going to take them, ever. And what happened? I abused it for 10 years. Why? Well, I was comparing myself to other people. Oh, you're pro? I want to be pro. I want to be an IB pro. I want to make it to the Olympia. And so I abused performance-enhancing drugs, regrettably, and it might have taken years off my life. All for what? To chase perfection of which you'll never get? And so let me know in the comment section, do you think Alex is going to stay natural? Do you think he's contemplating going to the dark side? Personally, I think he really wants to do it. Hopefully he can get over this body dysmorphia, not feel fat, not feel small, and realize he doesn't need it. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. If you liked the video, give it a like. What are you waiting for? Like it right now. It's not a lot of work. Comment. Also, head over to my website. Use code Greg. Get you 10% off. Remember, I have a clothing line, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, the Circle Diet book, and also free diet and coaching plans over 50 pages. It's free. Click the link in the description. Don't forget, code Greg, 10% off. And until next time, I am out.